Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It's, of course, the 12th of January, 2023. Rip Lisa Marie Presley. Velma, what the F is going on? Cloverfield News and Justin Roiland. Oh no.
Gee, Rick. You're in a lot of trouble, aren't you, Rick?
I can't do it. But we're going to talk about it because it's crazy. Tonight here, Hollywood After Dark. Let's fucking go. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It is what a day. What a day. It's been a sad day, to be fair. It's also been an interesting day with a lot of news going on, a lot of little things, some big things. There's a lot to get to tonight. Obviously, we're going to be having ourselves a good conversation, and then stick around. If you guys aren't channel members yet, we are going to be doing a Hollywood After Dark tonight, where we will be checking out the first episode of Velma to see if it's really bad. We're going to be talking about the controversy surrounding the show tonight, obviously, but on the after show, Hollywood After Dark, we'll be watching it. You can do that by becoming a member of the Hollywood After Dark Premium Club, which is a channel member. Any tier will do ya. Get in on that action. Apparently, a lot of people are freaking out because apparently YouTube is absolutely just destroying so many channels. It's killing them. You guys, with this new monetization update. If you don't know what that new monetization update is, generally speaking, today they decided to change up their policy by allowing people to monetize YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts are a great way, I guess, of getting out content. I don't know. I did one earlier on the Justin Roiland thing, and it's actually got about 5,000 views. So I can't necessarily complain on that one. People are interested in that kind of stuff. And it is a good way to get the news out to more people. Quite frankly, I think it's the only thing keeping Philip DeFranco alive these days. His channel ain't doing what it used to. That's for absolutely certain. But again, guys, if you want to get in on the after show tonight, check it out. Become a channel member, and the link for that will then be posted in the community section for channel members. There'll be a private link to check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope it'll be a good time. It'll be just we haven't done one in a while, right? We haven't done one in a while. It's all good. It's all freaking good. It's all gravy. But okay, let's catch up with some of you guys here, see what you guys are saying. Jess here in a Morty voice. Oh, geez, Matt. What's going to happen with Justin? I don't know. We're going to be talking about that. Keji here says Cloverfield News. It's minor, but there's still some stuff about that. There's stuff today. Good stuff today. Spherical Man here says Justin embroiled in. Yeah, am I right? Yeah, I guess so. Kind of. That's true. And then also tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Holy crap. I forgot it's Friday the 13th. I should definitely go out doing delivery driving tomorrow. I have a feeling that's probably going to end up with me getting shot dead. But hey, listen, it might make for good content. You know what I mean? There's full moons, Friday the 13th shit ends up being it's a hard night to be a delivery driver, to be fair. Anyway, you've got all that there. So, all right, what are we doing here? Just kind of looking in, and some stuff. I'm trying to go through the chat for a second. You guys are talking. I don't know what is going on in the chat about Zack Snyder. We can actually touch upon that for a second. We'll start off tonight, talking about that, because there was an article that came up surprisingly in regards to this whole situation involving the whole, where's this at here? Sell the Snyderverse to Netflix, right? As I call it, the shooting yourself in the foot for no other reason than it's just you want the attention. But they've got here, this whole sell Snyderverse to Netflix. We've made fun of this before. Obviously, February 14th, that's going to be the day of the event. But apparently Mark Hughes over at Forbes kind of agrees with this, apparently. with an article titled here, WBD selling DCEU Snyderverse to Netflix is surprisingly the best option. It's actually not. It's not. Neither Warner Brothers or even, I think, Netflix has the money to fund a movie like that. But let's dive into the article here. Let's see what it's saying. Let's see what's going on with this one. All right. So he says, wow, the article is 22 minutes long. If we want to listen to the article, I don't want to listen to the article, to be fair. You know, I should throw this into Chat GPT and then just like have it summarize it for me. That would just be easier. Anyway, it says here, hashtag activism is the popular stuff of superhero film fandom, but Warner Brothers Discovery has faced a stream of such hashtag movements about their cinematic extended DC extended universe. But the new sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix message is one of a rare few that seems crazy, but actually could work and just might have some unexpected, albeit unintentional, side benefits to consider. That's why I think WBD selling DCEU to Snyderverse could surprisingly be the best option. Here's the thing with that, though. There was an article today that came out, and I don't have it queued up here, but there was an article today that came out that was talking about how Warner's has signed a deal with Amazon for what they call the Warner Pass. All right. Warner Pass. What it is it's going to allow for Warner Brother Discovery HBO content to be available through Amazon Prime subscribers, right? If you watch Amazon Prime, there's that. Real quick here, directed by Clay Campbell, says Philip DeFranco is actually still not pulling in 1 million views. If you go look at his videos, he's been pulling in under 1 million for a while. Whereas like 2-3 years ago, he would pull like 1.4. So I'm not saying the guy's dying. I'm just saying it's like, you can tell there's been a noticeable drop. And he seems to keep trying to aim it younger and younger and younger, which is like funny to me, but whatever. But back to the Warner Pass situation. What we have with the Warner Pass, though, is like they want to find a way to license content to other platforms. You know, you see this with like Hulu. You can get Stars, you can get Showtime as an add-on. You can even get HBO, I think, as an add-on to Hulu. You can get all of that stuff as an add-on with other services out there, right? It's just everywhere kind of acts as a hub, kind of takes its particular, you know, they take their cut, right? They get their cut out of that. And that's kind of what's going to happen here. It's like, well, we might have the a la carte of streaming. You might be able to pay for access in order to just not have multiple apps to choose from, but one key app that kind of acts as a portal for all the other ones. And that could, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but the Warner's Pass is going to be made available, I think, very soon, but only in one location. It's only going to happen, believe it or not, in France. In France, of all places. France, a country with like, what, 80 million people, I think? I don't know. No, I think that might have been Germany. France, I don't know how many, what's the population of France? Population of France is 67.75 million is that. So what we're talking about here is like, and again, Netflix has even tried to do linear television, right? Linear programming on cable television in France. Like France just kind of seems to be the testing ground for all of this stuff for some reason. But Warner Brothers could, I mean, you know, if they're looking to license out content, they're going to do it in bulk. They're not going to do specific universes because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But all right, let's go on here. So he says, I want to be clear that I'm excited to have a Gunn writing a new Superman movie. I'm eager to see what Gunn and Safran have in store for a new era of DC movies. I don't like or support the angry movement calling for the firing of these two co-CEOs or for boycotts of upcoming DC projects. But it's also no secret that I'm a big fan of Snyder's DCEU and other filmmakers' movies arising from Snyder's original setup. And I'd personally, or hypothetically, love to see Snyder get a chance to finish his DC plan. So what we already have here is a situation where this guy is, I mean, he's biased. He's biased. He's 100% biased, but he admits it. It's no secret that he's a big fan of Snyder's DCEU. So obviously he wants to see it. Completely understand it. I do. I completely understand it. I do feel, again, this is coming at it from like a place of hopium that you can easily OD on. So he goes on to say, so if there's a way to get Snyder's vision completed in a way that's actually advantageous for DC Studios and alongside the new films and plans Gunn and Safran developed, I feel like it's at least worth talking about. I don't write this to try to add pressure to DC Studios or to in any way lend support to the hateful fire Gunn and Safran demands. This is merely an honest assessment of a new development that caught me by surprise and which I think it can benefit everyone involved, including WBD and DC Studios, in ways they may not yet realize. As a company that's trying to restructure itself, is trying to reorg itself in order to, you could say, create a very linear plan for their properties to kind of get back to the realm of success. Like we're seeing that with Warner Brothers and even Ubisoft are having those same problems where they're just like, we might have bitten off more than we can chew, and we need to streamline things in order to get back to being fundamentally profitable. And licensing out content, at least superhero content, didn't necessarily work out for Netflix and Marvel. Why in God's name would they want to do it again for DC and Netflix? It doesn't make any sense to me. So here's what he says. So buckle up and give me a chance to lay out the arguments and see if I can sway you, dear readers. The latest sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix #trend is an evolution of the Snyderverse and Snyder Cut movement as it adapts to the fact that WBD's newly created DC Studios is moving on from previous iterations of the DCEU under the leadership of Gunn and Safran. There will be no return to the early vision and plans for the DCEU, which included Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and for the dedicated Snyder fan base, Zack Snyder's Justice League, in place of the original theatrical cut. Instead, some will reboot, others we'll see, but for now, one thing is clear. Those who want a continuation of Snyder's original multi-film arc plans are not going to get it from DC Studios' upcoming future films. Yeah, we've known this. This is why this whole thing is downright freaking copium. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. It's all copium. It's all hopium. It's all nonsense. That's all it's been for this entire time. Let's see. Rational here says, in your honest opinion, if Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 happened, do you think it'd be successful? I think it would be successful. You know what? I do. I think it could be successful. However, I would say that in this particular case, it's too expensive to be successful, if that makes sense, right? Like the $70 million it cost to finish Justice League, plus the additional $30 million it cost to market it, didn't really move the needle for HBO Max. Now, in essence, it's possible that didn't happen because HBO Max wasn't available in a lot of other countries where they had PVOD, and apparently it sold well there, but we still never got the numbers. There was some third-party reporting. We had some ideas based upon social media impressions. Everyone likes to tout around that 34.5 billion impression statistic, but if you look at the bottom part of that, it says it only really added 1.5 million new followers. 34 billion impressions, which is definitely not something to scoff at, but only 1.5 million new people jumped on board, supposedly. That's minuscule. That's infinitesimal compared to the larger impression. So what we have is that I don't think it can be successful in the way that would make it business savvy at this point. And Netflix simply is not going to pump out the $300 million to do it. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. This isn't like we did it before. No. As I keep saying, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be the jerk. I don't want to be the bastard here. But I got to remind you guys, you who are here all the time, you know what I'm talking about. And deep down, you know that I'm right. But other people out there who might stumble across this, it's simply too much money. The entirety of Zack Snyder's Justice League, including the reshoots and the release of 2017's monstrosity, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 million. And it did not yield that return for the studio to go, hey, let's do this again. Shazam barely got a sequel. Aquaman is heavily reliant on overseas box office numbers that may not even show up again because it might have been too long in between sequels. We're talking 5 years by the time Aquaman 2 comes out. The Flash is in disarray. They are still doing pickup shots, apparently, from what the Flash Film News account was saying. Or no, that was Big Screen Leaks. You know, who's gotten some stuff right before. It's not in a good place. It's just not in a good place. Okay, going on here. So fans who previously launched the Release the Snyder Cut movement, by the way, the guy who started the Release the Snyder Cut movement, who started the hashtag, even he is laughing at this. He's rolling his eyes at this. He thinks it's dumb. He's like, holy shit, what monster have I created? All right. Like, he's not even behind this. The guy who started it's not even behind this. Anyway. So they also, launched Restored the Ayer Cut, which we restored the Ayer Cut, which we haven't seen. You know what I mean? Just saying. However, when a portion of the fan base then began restore the Snyderverse and called for boycotts against future DCEU films unless the studio reverted the DCEU back to original plans, I didn't think it was either realistic at this point or the best option anymore for several reasons. Yep. First and foremost, Snyder has already moved on to original projects. I was more interested in seeing him complete. Plus, there was much conflict and bad feelings involved. There's so much conflict and bad feelings involved that I feared the whole thing would suffer or wind up incomplete again amid inevitable divisions. Yeah, no shit. Obviously, that would happen. And I ultimately felt the DCEU was already settling into a new phase that either needed to be allowed to proceed or just ended completely instead of more tinkering and yet another course correction. At some point, constantly reshuffling your movie plans and retconning back and forth undermines audience faith in keeping up with whatever is happening in the latest films, and the whole thing threatens to collapse under the weight of its own indecision and perpetual revolution. He's not wrong, and we have 4 movies coming out this year. 4 movies coming out this year that are going to suffer from the indecision and that are going to suffer from perpetual revolution. And this is where James Gunn and Peter Safran have to approach that and figure out, how do we salvage this in a way that is going to be beneficial for the plan, the roadmap that we want to make. And here's the thing with that, right? The Rock, I'll give him credit. The Rock was on the right path with Black Adam. He really was. He brought in a lot of people. Too bad the movie was mediocre. If the movie would have been good, if the movie would have been groundbreaking or at least somewhat more interesting, it might have had a greater impact, but they relied way too heavily on Henry Cavill, and that bit them in the ass, and that killed that. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, is like, it was a straw that broke the camel's back. Mo here says, you're always the bearer of bad news. Well, you know what? I hate to be the adult in the room. Oftentimes I'm the most immature person in the room, but there's times I kind of have to take up that mantle anyway. Okay, what's he saying? I just want to get to what he's talking about here. Okay, so in short, if WBD has no desire to develop any projects within the Snyderverse anyway, and if they are seeking ways to develop and or license properties to maximize revenue, then why not license the Snyderverse to Netflix and be done with any Warner attachment or involvement or blame from now on? Because that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Even the Marvel show, I love this. I love it when people, this guy works for Forbes writing about the industry. Okay, when Marvel licensed the shows to Netflix, they still had creative control. Sandman, Lucifer, shows that were licensed to Netflix still were produced through Warner Brothers Television. Go back and watch the opening of any of the Marvel Netflix shows and you will see ABC Studios, I think ABC Studios and Marvel Television Productions. Netflix was simply the financier, I'd say probably co-financier or whatever, and the distribution platform. They had the rights to distribute it, but they were not the ones who made it. They had licensed the property from other companies. So no, them licensing it to Netflix would not remove blame from Warner Brothers, because DC Studios, DC Television would still be actively fucking involved. Actively involved. They would be the ones developing everything. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. It's like they only would be the distributors of it. But the owner overall property rights would still be over at Netflix or at DC. It's so stupid. Guys, I wish it wasn't dumb. I really wish it wasn't this. I really wish like this guy wasn't this dumb. Who is this Mark fucking Hughes guy? Let me look him up. Mark Hughes. I think it's this guy, correspondent. You know what? No. That's Forbes. There we go. All right. Let's see. Who is this guy? I mean, let me double check. Oh, I'm blocked by him, by the way. That's great. That's fucking great. I'm blocked by this guy. That's fantastic, right? Let's save the Snyderverse, guys, but we're gonna block anyone who's. Oh, I've been blocked with this guy for a while, so I'm not even worried about it, to be fair. Jesus fucking Christ. What a moron. Okay, so now it makes more sense, guys. It makes absolutely more sense. And even his post over there on the account, right? The Forbes, his one has only got like 31 retweets, 5 quote tweets, 65 likes. It's really not even doing that well. On his personal account. Maybe it's better on the Forbes account. I don't know. Forbes, didn't Forbes fire that one guy, Faruqi, right? Faruqi. It's Farouk, right? I thought, or the Faruqi brothers. Didn't they fire the guy for like his Ray Fisher article or whatever? And you want to take the word of this fucking guy? That's all I'm saying on that one, guys. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. This is for 5. Thank you very much, man. Says whoever wrote this Forbes article does not understand how licensing or copyright works. It doesn't. That's why this article is bad. That's why this article is not good, because it doesn't understand how things are operating. It doesn't understand the licensing. It doesn't understand any of that shit. And that's a problem. That's a problem with this stuff, because this article gives these fuckers hope. Like, this article gives these people who are pushing this hope. Oh my God, you guys, Forbes is writing about us. Well, yeah, no, again, shoot yourself in the fucking foot by not knowing how copyright works. That's the whole point. That's why it's so goddamn fucking funny. It's how stupid it is. It is. It's just how stupid it is. I don't even need to go through the article anymore. We can just you can just look at it now and go, yeah, it's not how it works out. Static here says Berlanti just signed a 4-year deal with WBD. That's true. We did. Rational here says that's why Gunn is axing the CW Berlanti stuff. I mean, that was already happening when they sold it. They'd already been canceling these shows. That was already brought up by it. That was already the writing was on the wall for that one. Darkness here asking, wait, why are you blocked by him? I'm blocked by a lot of people. Darkness, whether it's Twitter bots or people who just don't like my spicy hot takes. I'm blocked by a lot of people. It's okay. It's okay. Henry here says Forbes is pretty. No, he's not. No, no. Stop. No. No way, man. There's no way in hell Forbes is influential. They are a lifestyle brand, right? They're a lifestyle website for like metropolitan men, right? Or cosmopolitan men. You know what I mean? It's not what you think. Forbes is not like it's. Do you remember when like G4 TV started just doing nothing but like running cheaters episodes and cops episodes, and you're like, what the hell are they doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Now look, Forbes does get like on average about 100 million clicks a month. All right. But they cover a wide variety of stuff. You know what I mean? It's a wide variety of stuff, but no, they're not. No, they're not. Drewby says, aren't you probably the most tame person on Twitter? I've got my spicy moments, Drew. I got my spicy moments. People don't like it, but no, sorry. Forbes, in regards to the movie space, is not influential. All right. Scott Mendelson, remember him? He was the guy, he was the movie guy over at Forbes for like the longest time. And then all of a sudden, like he was super anti against the Snyder Cut. Right. And he wasn't the one with like the boot to the neck of Warner Brothers keeping it from happening. They definitely did not. Okay. Keji here says, I mean, Forbes is not that bad of a sore, or I'm assuming a site, but it can be annoying and clickbaity at times. Same with Tom's Guide and sites like that. Oh, CNET, especially CNET. Oh yeah. You mean CNET that at this point is now openly advertising that they have their articles written by AI. I mean, I'm not against AI helping copyright, but the fact that they've got articles that are flat out being written by them, that to me is really fucking funny. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. Forbes might be able to talk about, like financial shit, but having an op-ed about this is not going to be a thing. But all right, let's move on from there to something a bit more sad. Right? Because this is sad. Lisa Marie Presley has passed away at the age of 54. News broke earlier today that she had been rushed to the hospital for cardiac arrest. As we can see here on the side, Lisa Marie Presley hospitalized after cardiac arrest. And then she unfortunately passed away. So it says here, Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis Presley's only child, whose tumultuous life also included a music career, died Thursday in a Los Angeles hospital. Her representative confirmed she was 54 years old. Priscilla Presley and the Presley family are shocked and devastated by the tragic death of their beloved Lisa Marie. They are profoundly grateful for the support, love, and prayers of everyone and ask for privacy during this difficult time. Which is true. I mean, that's, I don't know any of them. All I can do is, thoughts and prayers and stuff and just send well wishes. Presley was hospitalized Thursday morning after suffering cardiac arrest at her home in Calabasas, California, just 2 days after she attended the Golden Globes with her mother, Priscilla. She was rushed to the hospital after paramedics performed CPR. Her ex-husband, Danny Keough, had been living with Presley and administered CPR before paramedics arrived. And so then it goes on to talk about her life. This is really sad right here. So about a little over 2 years ago, her son, Benjamin Keough, died in 2020 after self-inflicted gunshot wound. In addition to Riley Keough, Presley has twin girls, Finley and Harper, with her ex-husband, Michael Lockwood. Before Lockwood, she was married to Nicolas Cage for 2 years. Or Nicolas Cage, and then for 2 years to Michael Jackson. Before that, to musician Danny Keough. So she's had a life, that's for sure. She's survived by her mother, Priscilla Presley, her 3 daughters, and her half-brother. And that is sad. That's really tragic. That just a couple days ago, she was at the Golden Globes, living it up, having a good time. The movie about her dad was doing really well. I think Austin Butler won Best Actor. And yeah, that was pretty sad. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Got a little caught off guard there. But yeah, I see this is here says now another star of the Naked Gun series is gone. No, that was her mother. That was Priscilla Presley. Mo Moon here says not even minutes after the news, cue the vaccine conspiracy theories. Oh, I've seen them. I've absolutely seen them. And they're come on, like they're fucking terrible to do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's absolutely god awful to sit there and say that, Lisa Marie Presley, it's like she died of COVID. Drew B here says, is this the end of the Presley namesake? I mean, with Priscilla, it will be, I believe. With Priscilla, I think it will be. But as for, the legacy, yeah, I think so. And like, that's the weird thing to think about, right? Like you think about people like Elvis, and that name lives on. It will always live on. But it's like his kid just died. That's the weird thing. Like his daughter. You're like, God, I remember back in the 90s when she came out and it was like she was married to Michael Jackson and she was all over the place. And you're just like, that Lisa Marie, like there was there was a certain kind of reverence to it. Like she was an automatic Hollywood royalty. That didn't change. That didn't alter. That didn't go away. But she kind of went out of the spotlight and whatever problems I think she might have had kind of went with her at the time. And, it just goes to show you never know how much time you have. It's absolutely fucking terrible. That's absolutely, absolutely terrible. Well, I mean, like, she's got her daughter, Riley is her daughter. Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I wouldn't be surprised if like Riley Keough like ends up changing her name to Presley or something, to like keep the legacy going, so to speak. But she's an actress. She's been pretty active. She's been in, I don't really know exactly what she's been in. Oh, she was in that movie Zola that came out. I want to say, she was in Mad Max Fury Road. She was in Logan Lucky. Okay. So she's had a pretty interesting career thus far. So that's all right. That's okay. Okay, here. So what do we got? What's the next thing that I want to kind of bring up real quick here? Let's get into the to the Justin Roiland thing. Then we'll do the Velma stuff because that's going to take a second. So what we've got here is Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland is facing felony domestic violence charges, which is crazy to kind of think about, right? But then again, with these kind of guys, you never know. You know what I mean? So he was charged with domestic battery and false imprisonment in May 2020 after an incident with a woman he was dating, according to a criminal complaint. So here's what it says. Justin Roiland, the star and co-creator of the animated comedy series Rick and Morty, has been charged with felony domestic violence in Orange County in connection with a 2020 incident, according to a criminal complaint filed in May 2020. He appeared in court on Thursday for a pre-trial hearing. Roiland pleaded not guilty in 2020. In a statement, one of Roiland's attorneys wrote that his client is innocent and he expects the case will be dismissed. His attorney says, "We look forward to clearing Justin's name and helping him move forward as swiftly as possible." NBC News obtained the criminal complaint in the case, which charges Roiland, 42, with one felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury and one felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit. The complaint states that the incident occurred around January 19th, 2020, against an anonymous Jane Doe who was dating him at the time. According to the Orange County Superior Court records, Roiland pleaded not guilty to both charges. Since then, the case has been the subject of more than a dozen court hearings, including pre-trial hearings. A trial date is not currently set. Many court records remain sealed, but the available public documents seen by NBC say Roiland was charged in May 2020, and he was arrested and released on a $50,000 bond. Protective order filed in October 2020 and documented in the court minutes said Roiland was not to harass, threaten, surveil the person named in the protective order, who is not known to NBC News. He cannot go within 100 feet of the person, according to the order, which was also ordered to turn in any firearms he owned or possessed. The order lasts until October 2023, and it is not known who submitted the request for the order. Details of the case, including body camera footage, police reports, abuse investigation reports, medical reports, and recordings, are currently being withheld from the public under a protective order. The affidavit in support of Roiland's arrest is also sealed. So we don't know anything about this yet. Here's probably the most interesting thing about this. During Thursday's hearing, Roiland's attorney confirmed that there is a plea offer available, but did not discuss the details. The brief hearing concluded a moment later with an agreement to convene again on April 27th, and he was ordered to attend the hearing. So, I mean, I covered this in a YouTube short earlier today, and a lot of people are immediately jumping at this sort of thing. Ryan here asking, do you think he was drunk when he allegedly committed this felony? I believe so. I've heard that there's a lot of drinking that goes on with that whole world, and everything else. And I don't know what's going on. I think we're gonna have to wait to find out. April 27th is a long ways away. They offered a plea deal, but you know what? I mean, taking a plea deal it depends on what the plea deal is. And that's going to be on the table probably until right before they go to trial, So we'll have to wait and see. But according to, I think it's bleedingcool.com here, they have an article that says Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland's attorney issues statement. And the statement here, what does it say? Oh, okay. Okay. So it says, it is hard to overstate how inaccurate the recent media coverage of the situation has been. To be clear, not only is Justin innocent, but we also have every expectation that the matter is on course to be dismissed once the district attorney's office has completed its methodical review of the evidence. We look forward to clearing Justin's name and helping him move forward as swiftly as possible. Now, what I find interesting is that the NBC News article mentions the last part of this here, but not the first part of the quote. You know, because I mean, it does mention it. Yeah. See, like, you know, he says here that the client is innocent, and it's, you know, it summarizes it and then quotes it right there. But I feel like the full quote would have probably been better, to be honest with you. But that's just me on that one. You know, I'm not faulting the writers. I understand why, but I feel there's that. Drinking is necessary to stay hydrated. Yeah. I'm in that boat right now, actually. Yeah. It's really weird. It's like 50 degrees here in Washington in January. It's crazy. Music Man here says, more Me Too cancel should I see? I've seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen it pop up, but it hasn't been like, you know, I don't think Rick and Morty fans are going to care. To be completely fair with you, I don't think they're going to care at all. It just doesn't strike me as something that they're going to give much of an overall fuck about. So when we talk about this, you know, when we think about everything going on with this whole story, we have to wait and see. We don't know the details. We don't know anything yet. So it's something that when it happens, we'll know more. But in the meantime, let's see exactly kind of what the fallout of this is, right? Will Adult Swim, you know, move to pull Roiland off of a showrunner, any position of power? You can't cancel him off the show because he's the voice of the main two characters. It's $1 billion merchandise operation. Like, there's too much money at stake with him. Like Solar Opposites over at Hulu, the High on Life game that just came out, everything else he's working on. There's too much going on there for them just to like throw him under the bus. So we're going to have to wait to see. But I mean, look, this guy's got money. So I think that's the big thing of what's going to happen. He can make this whole thing go away. We'll have to, I mean, again, I don't want to diminish it if anything really bad happened. I don't want to diminish anything. I think if he committed a crime, that there should absolutely be, you know, he should be held accountable. But Jess here makes a good point. The Rick and Morty fan base is crazy. Do you remember the Szechuan sauce incident at McDonald's? Yes, I do. But to be fair to Rick and Morty, McDonald's dropped the fucking ball on that one, right? It dropped the ball on that one. When they opted to only carry a couple containers of Szechuan sauce, right? You know what I mean? Like, there was that. And yes, I know the guy you're talking about, Ralph. The guy was definitely a troll. I get that. But like, McDonald's still only carried a couple packets. And so they knew that there was going to be a massive turnout, and they absolutely fucked up. Pickle Rick is innocent. Yeah. Mo here for $2. Thank you, Mo. It says remake the show and call it Jarbo and Mo. No, I'm good. Thank you. I would leave you stranded in an alternate dimension, Mo. Within probably 5 minutes of going off into having wacky adventures around the world. I would probably leave you in an alternate dimension. So Eric here asking, what are the odds Austin Butler is Gunn's new DC? I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know. And I don't care if I'm being honest with you. I'm waiting to see what's going on with that one. I was getting DMs today about like a potential leak or something like that could be happening, or some person suggested to be the the new Superman. I don't even know, Jacob Elordi. I don't even know. I don't even care. I don't even care. And I say that just because I just need it to be announced before I give a shit. And I'm not the only one that thinks that way. A lot of us think that way right now. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So there's that. So, all right, why don't we jump into some more stuff here? Look, a couple more quick pieces of news to get to. For one, Matt Reeves is now writing the Batman 2. I thought he would have already been working on this, considering that it's been 10 months since the Batman came out. But obviously there's been a lot going on with the Penguin show and the Arkham Asylum show, and the restructure, the reorg, the craziness happening over there at Warner Brothers Discovery. I can see that. So here we go. In an interview with Collider, Reeves spoke with the writer, saying here, and when he was asked if he was shooting any films this year, he replied, almost hesitant to reveal much, saying, "I'm not going to answer that question, but we are working on a movie. I'll put it to you this way. We're deep in it. My partner and I are writing. Mattson, Tomlin, and I are writing. It's really exciting, and I'm really excited about what we're doing." So, he's working on a movie. It's entirely possible that they're going to start shooting this year. I think they will. I think they are working on shooting this year. It just seems to make the most amount of sense to get it out by 2024, to have a DC film on the slate. Wait, do we have a Batman 2 release date yet? I know it's been confirmed. I don't think we have a release date on it yet. So we got that. All right. And then also Matt Reeves here says that he isn't opposed to directing another Cloverfield film. Now, I know everyone out there who's a big fan of the Batman. They want the Batman 2. I want the Batman 2, but I want fucking Cloverfield 2. I want Cloverfield 2 more than I want anything else. Music Man, I see it there. I'll get to that here in a second. Thank you. I'm just like, I would rather go back into that world. Although I don't know why they showed 10 in Cloverfield Lane. I mean, it is a great film, but still. So speaking with comicbook.com in honor of the film's 15th anniversary, weird to think that in like 5 days, Cloverfield turns 15 years old. Paramount is releasing a new 4K steelbook of the movie. But I don't think it's going to have any special features in it, which sucks. But I'm going to look to see how much it costs, and if it's worthwhile, I'll pick it up. Because it's Cloverfield, and I love Cloverfield. I have it on DVD. I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on 4K, and I'll buy a steelbook on 4K as well. I am a sucker for that franchise. I love that goddamn movie. So it was asking if he would come back for a Cloverfield. He says here, "I have no idea. I'm super excited about us doing more. I can't give you any information about that, of course, because that's the way Cloverfield works. To be honest with you, you never know what you're going to do, even though my work is all genre work. I have to feel something personal about it. Cloverfield is very much about my anxieties." So, I mean, he's definitely interested in wanting to come back. He can't talk about it, obviously. JJ is working on something new. In September of last year, it was reported that a new Cloverfield sequel is in the works, with Babak Anvari, who did Wounds and Under the Shadow, set to write and direct it. Reeves' comments seem to back that up as far as possible return. Speaking further, he says, "That was a process that drew me in. That's what taught me about how to shoot it, how to talk to actors about what it was, because it was like trying to ground it from that perspective and make something crazy, fantastical, and genre, and also feel real. I think if another story were to present itself where I was like, gosh, I have to tell that story, it's not impossible. I wouldn't say that it's for sure thing, but I would never say never." Now you have to recall here that Cloverfield was Matt Reeves' first movie. That was his first feature film. There was, before then he's tight with JJ. He's tight with JJ, and he directed a bunch of episodes from the movie or of the show Felicity. And I thought that was really interesting, where like he went from being TV to getting this genre role, where he's doing this movie, this, what was it? $27 million, I think was the budget for Cloverfield. They shot that, very quickly over the summer of 2007 to have it ready to go in early 2008. It was this American kaiju film. I saw that movie. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it. It's one of my all-time faves. So I'm really, really excited for that one there. Real quick here, I do want to get to this post from Music Man for 5. Thank you, buddy. Saying here, I saw you tweet. I saw a tweet from you about the Golden Globes, and I couldn't agree more. I'm also just done with all that type of shit. The problem with the Golden Globes, the problem with the Golden Globes, is that no one fucking cares, dude. It like dropped down viewership wise. I think they had like 8 million people last year. or no, 10 million last year, but it's only 6 million this year. Right? That's all they had. They've been dropping, the Oscars have been dropping, all of these award shows. No, sorry, they didn't even, I don't think they even aired the Golden Globes last year. Like 2 years ago, they only had like 10 million people. But there's been a lot of controversy behind the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding their support of the former president that according to Brendan Fraser, was the one who groped him and caused him a lot of anguish and a lot of strife from back in the day, assault wise and everything. And I do feel that a lot of people out there simply do not give a shit about awards, because at the end of the day, and I honestly asked this question, the fuck does that ever do for you? Really? You know what I mean? Like I spent today researching My Bloody Valentine for a Podio commentary that's coming out next month. I got about a 3,000 word script done. And I did that in like 2 hours today, putting together this thing. A lot of it's copy paste, rephrasing, by the way, just, cause it's like you're pulling from information that's already there, but you're still doing the research. But as I'm reading about the history of My Bloody Valentine, it's more fascinating than anything else that I've read about big major Hollywood blockbusters, and maybe that's just like my indie roots that are coming out, but it's like these, there's so much more interesting things that are happening in and around movies than like fucking Babylon, right? Or like whatever, or the biggest like superhero movie. Like, I'm sorry, fucking Terrifier 2, a $250,000 budgeted film, stormed its way to theaters, knocked Top Gun Maverick off the top 10, where it was at the end of it anyway, you know what I mean? But then went on to go and do like $10-12 million, spawn like this whole new genre in like fucking horror films, create a whole new horror icon that people out there genuinely like. And like the industry is kind of, oh, they're balking their head at that. Well, that's not cinema. That's not this. That's not that. But no, but it's still fucking fascinating. And again, like even Avatar 2, the highest budgeted film of all time, maybe. It's a huge studio movie, but like it's an intimate movie. And what's going on with that's really interesting. Even though it's such a big spectacle, but it's different than what we've been getting. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like Hollywood, as much as I love movies, is just formulaically lazy. And it feels like a lot of these movies are written by AI. And we joked about this last night. We joked about this. Having AI write a story about canceled conservatives in like a Die Hard type situation, And it was stupid, but somebody would fucking fund it. That's all I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, the Golden Globes they're just dumb. Oscars are dumb. All these awards are dumb. JP here makes a great point. The only way to get people to the cinema is to make them cheaper. Well, that's actually, you make a good point. At the same time, you kind of don't. It's so people are used to streaming, but people will still always justify paying for entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, look at the whole Taylor Swift Ticketmaster debacle. That whole thing was fucking crazy. But, and it's bad. And it's like the government stepping in on that. That's how bad it is. But what I mean is that it's crazy in the sense that people will still fucking pay it. They'll still go through the process of doing it again because they will always want to justify what it is. Justify it. Avatar, you get the bang for your buck. You get it with that movie. 100% you get it. And a lot of people feel a certain way about it and they really like it. But a lot of these other executives now, a lot of these other development producers or development execs are, for some reason, they're just becoming more and more formulaically lazy. And I don't know if it's because they're just afraid to push the boundaries, if they're afraid to experiment. The golden age of streaming is something we're still technically in. And there's a lot that you can do to really play that up. Look at Shudder. Shudder's done amazing. They've kept the horror genre alive in ways completely never seen before. And yet even they are on the fucking verge of potentially shutting down. because of the funding. So yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. McLeod here says, you see Cameron whining about film streaming. Well, Cameron, yeah, he has every right to whine about that. He's going to have like 3 films in the top 5, highest grossing of all time. If anyone has the right to whine about film streaming, it's James Cameron. And a lot of times he's just talking shit. Like, if you don't understand the way Cameron talks, he's just talking shit. Right? People take what he says really seriously about that. Like, oh, Avatar's going to need $2 billion to break even. It's the worst business decision Hollywood's ever made. He's full of shit. But people are fucking running with that. All right? Like, they're running with that. So it's crazy. Ralph's double tits. I'm talking about Shudder. Mo Moon. I'm talking about Shudder, the streaming service. But here's the thing, though, is Cameron can, we're going to watch it. I think it comes out July is when it comes out on Disney Plus or something. You know what? And before it even comes out on Disney Plus, I'm going to buy the 4K. If they release a 2-pack, I'll buy the 2-pack because I want the first one on 4K too. We watched the first one again the other night and my 5-year-old loves it. Last night we were watching YouTube. I was watching Avatar 2 lore videos because there's actually a lot of lore about the different tribes of the Na'vi. And we're watching that and she was really into that. And she was like, Daddy, can we watch Avatar again? My 5-year-old is finding significance in watching Avatar. She doesn't give a fuck about what James Cameron has to say. She likes what she sees. That's kind of the point. Yeah, Rational is right here. Cameron has proven his worth time and time again. But people want to just go, oh, he says a comment. It's headlining. It's all fucking headlining, dude. That's all it is. We want to talk about bad decisions here. Check this one out. Warner Brothers is looking to sell its music library, which spans over thousands of film soundtracks. Its estimated worth is roughly $1 billion. They need money bad, right? Did you know that tomorrow the remake of House Party comes out? The LeBron James produced was supposed to be for HBO Max, but then they, for some reason, wanted to go theatrical with it. But they've spent no money on the marketing. It's only opening in 1,500 theaters nationwide. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It looks funny. I saw the Red Band trailer. It looks pretty funny, but it's like, it's one that I want to see, but I'm not going to go out to go see. I want to go see Megan this weekend if I can, because that seems interesting. I was talking to my dad about Avatar 2 again. Going back up to Cinemark XD, seeing it before it leaves. It's like, yeah, just House Party is not one that I feel like I should rush out to go see. But then again, it could have good word of mouth if it does well. I also saw that next month they're doing the Fathom event for Blood and Honey. That Winnie the Pooh Piglet slasher movie is getting a Fathom event run in theaters. And that kind of thing should probably make some money. But anyway, back on this subject here. Warner is getting rid of its music library is definitely crazy. But that's how bad they need money. It's just nuts. It's just crazy. Henry here says, I started pirating again. Ain't no way I pay for Shudder, Netflix, Amazon, Disney, HBO, and the others. That's almost more than my rent. I mean, that's the thing that's the great part about it is you can pick and choose, right? I'm not going to judge you for piracy. I don't think anyone in this day and age really judges you for piracy. Well, I take that back. I think one guy in the comment section after this video, come back and check it again. There's one guy that might fault you for piracy. But I don't, because it's like, I don't view piracy as a lost sale. I really don't view piracy as a lost sale. I think piracy can help generate conversations about stuff. It gets stuff out there in ways that people would never heard. But there's a movie called The Man from Earth. And it was I think I want to say 06, 07 indie film. It was really just like a talking head movie. 5-6 people sitting in a living room having a guy tell a story about how he's immortal. Really, really, really good movie. Really love that movie. Didn't even know about that film until it started blowing up torrents, right? It started blowing up torrent sites. And I thought that was really, I thought that was interesting. And then people started talking about this, right? And you're like, all right, like, okay, cool. Like that's the thing. Like, and then after that, people started talking about the movie because they found the movie because of people talking about it through piracy. And I know it's definitely like a stupid concept. I get that. It's a weird concept to talk about that from that perspective, because Hollywood never, ever, ever wants to actually have that conversation, which is really dumb because they fundamentally should have that conversation. They know that the audience is there. They know that the audience is going to show up in that particular way. They want money, but they also have to make the value of it. They have to make the value of it something there, and that's kind of the whole point. But I want to show you guys this real quick. This is kind of, it's kind of on topic of what we were talking about in the piracy front a little bit here. Now, this is We Got This Covered. And I know a lot of you guys out there hate We Got This Covered. I hate it too, but I feel it's necessary in this specific instance of the conversation. We Got This Covered, outside of doing their bullshit that they normally do, and they do a lot of bullshit, their scoops and stuff. They do this little feature that I like. And I actually see this recommended to me through like the Facebook news algorithm more than anything else out of their website. They do these little write-ups about they'll go, a forgotten action thriller that failed to disassociate crowds from a classic appears in at the top streaming top 10. I mean, it sounds like it's kind of written like an AI and shit, but like, it's just talking about this movie here called, what is this called? Eye of the Tiger is this movie. It came out in 1982. Oh no. When is this one? Like, you got fucking Gary Busey in it, and it's on Prime Video's worldwide watch list. Now, if you come over here and you look at Flix Patrol, all right. Eye of the Tiger. 1986. Gary Busey is a Vietnam vet recently released from prison. He returns home to discover his town being terrorized by a vicious motorcycle gang. When the bikers murder his wife and traumatize his daughter, Buck and his friends arm themselves to the teeth and wage war against the gang to destroy them once and all. I mean, like, fuck yeah, right? He's got a 5.6 out of 10, on there and shit. But it's, it's, I guess, popping up here or whatever. I don't quite know. But you can look at the top 10 at Flix Patrol of what people are watching. You got Pale Blue Eyes and everything else. Sing is on Netflix. Jumanji. Hey, look, The Rock is getting some love. Columbiana, a 2011 Zoe Saldana, fucking action. I think a Luc Besson action film is now in the top 10 of Netflix streaming today. Right. And it's like, okay, people are watching it now, nowhere near as much as the Pale Blue Eye, which is something I still need to see. But that's my whole point, is like, you look at this and you're like, okay, people are watching these older films. So this movie did kind of fail to do much when it came out back in the day. But now it's kind of blowing up on Netflix and people can go check it out that way. That's how they're going to see older films, like top movies on HBO: Elvis, Black Adam, Hereditary, Bullet Train, Little Things, Don't Worry, Darling, Scene 2. I mean, these are like relatively newer films, Disney, Strange World is number 1, Avatar, Encanto, Moana. I mean, again, we all know that shit there, right? Amazon, top movies on Amazon. Samaritan has done exceptionally well. I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things about Samaritan, right? You got The Tomorrow War that came out, like 2 years ago? I don't know what this one is. Memory, Orphan, First Kill. That was a Paramount Plus one, right? The Honeymoon, Overdose, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse dropped like 2 years ago. Kind of came with without much. That's the Michael B. Jordan one. That dropped like 2 fucking years ago. That's back up in here now. The Tomorrow War. I mean, these are people are actually watching. Look at their top shows. Jack Ryan, The Rig, Lord of Rings, Rings of Power is still doing really good. I mean, look at movies on Paramount. Obviously, Top Gun Maverick. Whatever. Father, There's Only One. I don't know what that is. Infinite was one of, I think Infinite was like their first original film on Paramount Plus. That's the Anton Fuqua directed Mark Wahlberg movie. That was like, I heard that was a turd. from what I heard about that one. But like, then you got Top Gun, which is also on Netflix, by the way. I think it's leaving pretty soon. I need to watch it again. Then you got, because I still haven't seen Maverick. You got The Lost City. That was good. That was a good one. Arrival, I haven't seen, but I've heard good. I mean, like, look, top movies on Hulu. Why is Black Adam on Hulu? The Resident, The Menu. I mean, that's up there. The Mummy, obviously, Brendan Fraser getting some love. The Holiday is a classic movie. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the 2000 movie, Into the Deep, The Mummy Returns. I mean, Brendan Fraser's getting some love, baby. Notice how not Scorpion King. Just saying, right? And then top movies on Amazon. And these are the ones you can get your hands on and stuff. And everything. That's all I'm showing you guys. All I'm trying to say. I know I've been on this for a little bit here, but what I'm trying to say is, like, when we talk about this, people out there are really interested into these conversations. Are really interested in what's going on, and so you can see here, like, as these other movies are going to get a lot more play. All right. You can do that. And so, Ryan here for 5, thank you, buddy, says you should find the unrated version of My Bloody Valentine. You can tell which scenes were cut by the film quality. Yeah, that was actually the thing too. So My Bloody Valentine is available to watch on Hulu and a couple other places, but it is not the unrated cut of the movie. And after I was reading up what happened with the MPAA and My Bloody Valentine, I'm like, oh, I really want to see the unrated cut of this. And here's the thing. I did. I found the unrated cut. I found it on archive.org, actually. I found it on archive.org. I thought that was crazy. I Googled it. I was like, where can I watch My Bloody Valentine, 1981 uncut? And an archive.org link popped up. Somebody posted it there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just going to watch it here. So I have it, so I can, when I do watch it, when I sit down to do the recording of it, I have a solid understanding and I want to see the unrated. So that's what I'm talking about there. That's what I'm talking. Like, there's a lot of cool shit there. It's more interesting to me than a lot of this new shit. Benson here for 5. I wanted to catch this also. Rip to Lisa Marie Presley. Losing her son 2 years ago is clearly too much to take. She was clearly bereft, a family filled with tragedy. Very sad. Yeah, cardiac arrest is no joke, man. Cardiac arrest is no joke. Definitely sad on that one. It's bummer. It's a real big bummer when somebody out there dies. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. Wow. Jason here, Hero Journalism, says, I just found a bunch of films I was researching on archive.org. Really good resource. Yeah, I know. I was on there today and I was kind of curious. I'm like, I typed in like, what was it? Some of those release groups that they have, right? They have like those piracy groups. I typed in one of them. I was just curious. And like all of these, like direct, like all of these movies popped up and I was like, holy, and I'm like, just like reading through the list and I'm like, holy shit. Saw The Frighteners on there. And I was like, I got to watch The Frighteners again. So that's coming in March, by the way. Frighteners is going to be one of the Patio commentaries in March. So there's a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good movies to watch. That's the thing I want to. That's the thing I like. So a lot of good movies to dive into. Let's see. JP says Movie Bob video of Marvel fatigue is really interesting. See, I don't believe Marvel fatigue exists. I just don't. I think that they've suffered from having to cram a lot to where it might feel like it's fatigue. But I don't feel that Marvel fatigue actually exists. Also, you say you're watching Puss in Boots this weekend. It did so good. Puss in Boots is so good. Like The Last Wish, like that movie is fucking amazing. Hero Journalism asking, what's a release group? A release, I know, it seems kind of weird. We're kind of diving into like, I'm gonna let you guys in on the secrecy of piracy, man. There's a bunch of groups that release the movies, right? They have these release groups that they're the ones that get they have the system in place. They know how to get the digital copy. There's actually programs you can get, as I found today, that you can get. I was reading up on them. I didn't download them or nothing. But apparently you can like rip Netflix movies right to your computer, right? You can just rip Netflix movies, and like, so if you wonder like how they get these copies so quick, like that's how they do it. They got it down to a science. So that's something that they can do. I'm just saying, so there's all that. There's all that. So yeah, if you find the, rational, he says one of them. I'm not going to bring it up, but yeah, you can just look that up on there and you'll find a bunch of shit. I mean, people upload this crap everywhere, dude. They upload this stuff everywhere. They upload these movies, these shows. I mean, YouTube's got a bunch of them. You'll find a bunch of them that are just like, oh no, I did find the director's cut of My Bloody Valentine on YouTube today, actually, but it's like this weird, they cut it really weird to get around copyright. Like I found a scene from like Avatar: The Way of Water last night, and it was from the more high quality rip that's out there from what I've seen. But it was edited so terribly, like to avoid copyright, but you couldn't even understand what the fuck is going on. Jess here for 5, thank you, says, what's your thoughts on Universal pimp slapping Disney on all the park news they have? How can Disney fight back? Well, for one, based upon what I saw, they just announced a year-round Halloween Horror Night event in Vegas, which is amazing. We talked about this last night, how I have no desire to go to fucking Vegas. However, for that, I probably would. And so you've got that. They've also got the new park that's coming out. Was it Epic Universe down in Florida in 2025, I think, or 2024? That one I want to go to. But here's how Disney can compete. It's really simple. And Bob Iger's already kind of doing it if you pay attention. He's lowering ticket prices. That's it. That's all Disney has to do to compete is just lower ticket prices. Universal has frequently for years been seen as the better deal because they put user experience far greater, than Disney does. And that's a big factor. That's a big problem. That's an issue. And Disney needs to get the fuck out of their own way. And I think Iger realizes that. He knows that the parks are where the money is right now. So I think, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. All right. It's okay, KG. It's okay. But it happens all the time. Stuff gets a little bit convoluted every once in a while. So there's that. All right. What else we got here to talk about? Oh, yeah, right. There's the couple little things here. I just got to bring it up. All right. What did I got here? Okay. So, I meant to kind of bring this up with the Batman thing, but we got distracted. Matt Reeves says he's meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran in a few weeks to discuss his long-term plan for the Batverse, which is great, which is absolutely great. We're going to be able to get that played out and see what happens with it. And I think it's going to be very, very fascinating to see what they do with that there. So that's cool. Again, I just want more Batman. This is here for 5. Thank you, man. It says you can still check who owns what by just looking up license ownership on all franchises on the internet. It's not that easy. Oh, it's that easy. Yeah, no, that's very true as well. To see who owns what these days. Who really knows? Who really knows? Rational also says here, how come Amazon allows Blu-rays of Disney Plus shows that Disney does not care? I mean, Walmart. I don't believe Amazon does because Amazon's got a different process. You have to have an ISBN number, I think, to sell through there. But now, granted, you could just make an ISBN number and fake it, I guess. But like, there's a website I came across today. I think it's called Movies Are Us. And they sell like DVDs, Blu-rays of like The Mandalorian. And I'm like, that's flat out copyright theft right there. That's flat out theft. That is flat out theft. I mean, all that shit, right? And it's like Disney, yeah, man. Disney they need to get on the physical shit. Hopefully Bob Iger will change that. Jerry here says, I just want Comcast buying Warner Brothers. The anxiety gets me. I mean, it's just, look, Warner's is probably going to sell. All right. It's probably going to sell. And yeah, going to Comcast and NBC Universal seems like the right call. We'll have to wait and see there though. I don't know. Jordan here says Walmart be goofy. It's not so much that Walmart will act as a third party seller, right? Or they'll act as just a platform. Third party sellers can list their goods there. Walmart gets a cut. What the fuck do they care? You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. Like, what the fuck do they care? They don't care. So that's It's bad. It's bad. Actually, they're I think they're even selling a porno over on there. And let me see if I can find it. It's probably taken off by now. All right. Let's see here. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, nope. It's so this is Bat Pussy on Walmart.com. This is the very first porno parody of a comic book film. Right? It's a porno parody of a comic book film, and it is you can buy it for $19.01, although it's currently not available. But this is a movie that was shot back in the 1960s. You can find the whole thing on Pornhub. I do not recommend it. It is just objectively terrible. But it's a cultural thing, or I should say it's a cult thing. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. So anyway, there's that. Also, by the way, a new trailer for The Mandalorian will be dropping on ESPN in just a couple days. So we're going to get that last trailer for Mandalorian. That's going to blow things up, right? So I saw a Cope tweet today from Drunk 3PO. Oh my God, Star Wars is dead. Oh, Star Wars is terrible. It's just no one cares anymore about Star Wars. Ugh. And I'm like, dude, yeah, they're going to drop the Mandalorian fucking trailer and everyone's going to lose their shit. It's just these guys, it's like Cope. Just like living Copeville already. You fucking mongoloids. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of these people, these fucking takes, Star Wars is dead. Like, no, they're not. It's not dead, dude. Andor and Boba Fett were like two of Disney Plus's top watch shows. Andor was actually watched more than Book of Boba Fett in 2022. I don't know how well Willow was done. I haven't heard anyone talk. I haven't even watched it yet. I forgot that it was on. I haven't even seen National Treasure yet. I forgot that shit was on. Yeah, it's just, I'm just saying, I'm just tired of these people. Rational here says Drunk 3PO complaining means he's not hitting Gina anymore. He never was, man. He never was, but he wanted it. You could tell. He was probably like, I'll kiss your feet. Come on, Gina, it's okay. They don't call me Drunk 3PO for nothing. Nah. You want one of my rebellion hats? Chuds. Man, I fucking hate chuds. Oh, my God. Clearly, I'm in a bit of a mood tonight. I apologize, folks. I apologize. It's not personal. I'm just tired. It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. So, all right, why don't we talk finally tonight about this this fucking show, Velma. All right, is the controversy worth it? That's my question. Is the controversy fucking worth it? Right now, Rotten Tomatoes, however you want to take it, okay, entertainment value only is what I like to say. It's got 14 critical reviews, 700 user ratings, 50%, 10%. Obviously, the 10% one is skewed. Let's be real. Okay, let's be real. We know how the brigading works on this. We know how bad it is. Okay, but this is what it says. Jinkies. This radical reworking of the beloved mystery team has plenty of attitude and style, but it doesn't have the first clue for how to turn its clever subversion into engaging fun. I mean, I haven't seen it. The trailer didn't really do much for me, which is why we're going to be we'll be checking it out tonight. We'll do a watch party over on After Dark. It's kind of a be there, be square sort of thing, But become a channel member, get on that action. I'll be posting that link here in a sec. But yeah, so we got that. This is what this is. Where's the page? Let me see what the critics are saying about this. Okay, so there's 10 episodes. There you go. All right, Gwen Enat from The Wrap here says, you have to wonder in the development of Velma, where did everything go so horribly wrong? Well, I don't know. Brian Truitt here says, whatever they've baked into these Scooby snacks definitely needs to be shared. So he likes it. Lauren Metchling here from The Guardian says, look past the copulating cockroaches and anatomy jokes that hinge on baby carrots, won't you? Velma is a supernatural spoof at its most beautifully chaotic. Now, that to me is interesting. Supernatural spoof. That's fascinating. Brian Lowry here, CNN, says, sporadically witty, but ultimately rather tedious. The HBO Max comedy leverages more than a half century of name equity to yield an animated prequel that's definitely not for kids, meddling or otherwise. Ooh, that's a good pun. I got to give him credit for that. That's a good pun right there. Joshua Alston here says, it's been done before and much better, using unique takes on the gang that maintain their essence. So Velma is never as groundbreaking as it seems to think it is. More than that, these characters are just really unpleasant to spend time with. Now, Glenn Howerton plays Fred, right? And I can only imagine that he's approaching Fred very similar to his character, to Dennis on It's Always Sunny. It took a long time on It's Always Sunny for those characters to become likable. You know what I mean? Like, they're terrible people. We all know they're terrible people, but at the end, it's like you kind of grow to like them. That's kind of the point with this. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people here, okay, here's the bastion of entertainment journalism. Julia Glassman from the Mary Sue gives it 4 out of 5, saying, I loved watching all the characters snipe at each other, and the best jokes are laugh out loud funny. The show also has some good digs at sexism and the patriarchy, but sometimes the show's gags are just rooted in plain old hipster fat phobia. Okay. And then Brittany Vincent here from IGN Movies also gives it a positive review. Saying here, Velma is an often funny take on the classic Scooby-Doo series with plenty of risque humor, but it's unfortunate that most of what makes Velma funny is completely unrelated to the character who gets a starring role. I mean, that's just like, I would argue that's kind of establishing the world, so to speak. But that's just me. So anyway, coming over here to Velma, because it's trending, right? Lots of trending going on there. So anyway, sorry. All right, hold on here. I saw this is here, says, then put Velma in the new Saints Row game. Yeah, I know shit, right? That game that's the problem with that game. When you try to please everyone, you please no one, sort of thing. And that could be potentially what's happening with Velma. I haven't seen the show yet. That's why we're going to watch it tonight over on the After Dark show. So, well, we're going to watch it, wink, wink, tonight on the After Dark show. So, there's that. Thank you, though. And then Gayley here asks, LOL, when are you not in the mood? I'm usually pretty cheery. I just had a long week with, just had a long week. That's all it is. I'm just like, tired. That's all. Anyway, so, but there's that. So this is it's trending right now. And, generally people are kind of coming at it here. Bad Writing Takes here says, Velma is extremely not good. It reads like a right-wing YouTuber's clumsy understanding of what a diverse show is, which, given that its showrunner is Mindy Kaling, who has faced criticism for transphobia and once described herself as way conservative, kind of makes sense. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. It reads like a right-wing YouTuber's clumsy understanding of what a diverse show is. Like, that's the thing I don't get. All right. Like, so what, he just, she liked the JK Rowling tweet, where she made a joke about the whole, most recent royalty check, which was I thought that was a great comeback, by the way. And I think JK has made a lot of dumb comments, but I think that was a great burn. You're like, oh, how do you sleep at night knowing that everyone hates you? I make a lot of fucking money. How else are you going to respond to that? You're just going to be like, I sleep on a bed of $100 bills, like, fuck off, sort of thing. That's how I take it at this point. Because a lot of this shit is all being done by just wannabe Twitter activists that don't actually give a fuck. And so here we got not YouTube kids. Okay. I think my least favorite part about the new Velma show is that because of it, YouTube is going to be recommending me videos that look like this for the next month and a half. Oh, look, Yellow Flash, Clownfish, Yellow Flash, Ryan Kinnell. Very same fucking thumbnail design. Not a lot of uniqueness there. Although, fucking whatever with that. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, this is what, so one person says it reads like a right-wing YouTuber's clumsy understanding of what a diverse show is. And then the right-wing YouTubers are like, this is diverse shit. This is fucking terrible. This is god-awful. And that's what I'm talking about here. You know, like that's the whole fucking thing. It's really kind of different. It's really kind of fascinating to see kind of what plays out there. Jess here for 5, thank you, says, due to Lightyear and now Velma, I think these projects are just using brands to piggyback these projects. I mean, I don't know what you mean about Lightyear. The concept of Lightyear as a whole was actually pretty good. The opening of the movie established that, right? Back in 1995, there was a little boy named Andy, and this was his favorite movie. You know, and like, again, Buzz Lightyear was a toy based on a movie, based on a character. You know, so it's like, yeah, Lightyear was pretty decent. It was pretty good. A lot of interesting elements there. A little darker, I think, than what it needed to be, but it's good. But but again, it's like Velma though is like, the Velma thing. I think you probably have a good idea, but it's like, let's take a character and take it in a totally different direction. Lightyear didn't really do that. I mean, there was the twist at the end there, I get, but it's like still, you know, whatever. If we have time, Rational. But again, you got to be the channel member to get in on that one. So Gailey asking, can I come on after the after show? I mean, are you hitting on me? I can't tell what's going on with that one. Again, the after show was going to be for channel members. So, because it's not going to be, it's not streamed, I should say. So it's accessible. The show has underage girls fighting in the shower. Yeah, I know. I read about that. Yeah, I read about that. Do you see anything? All right. Do you see anything? That's my question. Because there's a lot of shit going on. Dat Dude Vince who said, I finally saw Black Adam and thought it was okay. Gave this 6 out of 10. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 movie. Right. The thing is though, and I talked about this earlier today when it comes to Velma, right? Like you've got, here we go. I think this is what he's talking about here. This one here. Velma has a near 2-minute long scene of 15-year-old girls butt naked and fighting each other in suggestive positions. It's really shaping up to be the next Big Mouth. Now, what makes me crack up at that one, right, is if you recall, the right-wing response to Big Mouth was, oh my God, this is a show for pedophiles. Oh my God, this is a show for fucking degenerate people. Oh my God, this show is indoctrinating children, yada, 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 fucking yada, bullshit. Out the ass bullshit, failing to understand the idea of what Big Mouth was. So all of that shit, you know what it did? You know what it did, right? That was season 2 premiere. Like the Cordring's out there beating his chest, crying from his piss-filled basement about the show, not understanding what he's complaining about, as these guys never do. All right. And what the fuck? Oh, sorry. I thought my phone wasn't my phone. It was someone else's phone. It said like, you have a bill due. I'm like, I don't have a bill due. I've paid my bills, but anyway, like it's just, the show, by the way, what I'm trying to say is Big Mouth is about ready to go into its 7th season, and it already has a spinoff show that's getting ready to go into its 2nd season, and the shows interact and overlap. You know, like this is not going to go the way that you think, to be fair. But what's funny about this, and this is what I'm talking about, this specific Comic Lover Mari account here, right? I have to chuckle my fucking buckle at this specific thing. You're not a channel member though, Rational, not anymore, right? You'd have a little thing there. Like Mo, see the Mo has got that little symbol. Mo is a member. But there's that. Let's see. Henry here says Big Mouth is not a show for pedos. It's way too disgusting in every aspect to appeal to even the most degenerates out there. The show is very much about puberty, and it doesn't hold anything back, which I think is really funny. You know, so, Roman here says Velma and Big Mouth are both garbage. Watch Puss in Boots instead for true animation. I mean, I really loved Puss in Boots. It went hard. Not a huge fan of how the action started removing frames for some reason. I don't know why certain things do that. But at the same time, I think even like fucking, what was it? The Bad Guys did that too. And that was, whatever. A good movie. Really good movie. Great story. Loved it. But I was like, I get bugged when the animation styles do that. That being said, not the same fucking thing. Big Mouth is a show about middle schoolers going through puberty and how crazy that is. It's even Nick Kroll has said that it's a way for him and his writers to work through troubles they had as teenagers and how embarrassed they were as kids going through puberty. And that's why it's going into its 7th season, because guess what? A lot of people really fucking relate. Really relate. And it also doesn't talk down to kids, talk down in those situations. It doesn't talk down to the characters in the show. I think if you watch it, you get a better fundamental understanding of what's going on. I do feel that they've done a lot to kind of like hamper John Mulaney's character, Andrew, in the recent seasons. Like, okay, fine. They've just made him this blubbering idiot, which I'm not a big fan of, but I think they kind of redeemed it a little bit at the end of season 6. Anyway, you know, now here we go. Nick makes an interesting point. They're trying to make Scooby-Doo into Harley Quinn and nobody wants to see that shit. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. Maybe that's the case, but either way, well, let me get to this thing here. Rational came a new member. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, boo. Yeah, you can get in at the $2 membership. The matinee level is fine. Thank you very much for that though. Anyway, so what was I going to say here? All right. So this person, this is why I love this shit. Okay. So, she has a thing here, says someone criticized her and she responded because she had to apologize for something else a long time ago. And she actually has to own up to it again here. She may have deleted it, but, she had said that it was actually pretty fucking funny. Let me see if I can bring it up here. And I just say, the reason why I say this is because, okay. All right. So, let's see. One here says, you have left your fans to put Nazis in his mentions and, harass him with a barrage of anti-Semitism. You deserve all the shame in the world. And, hell is real and hot and get ready for your arrival. I mean, like, it's like comes after her. She's like, wishing death on me isn't going to solve anything. I don't condone what terrible things happen, but please don't act like I'm scheming and all of this. She has her own, she was canceled in her own way, right? She was canceled in her own way. And, a lot of people, let's see, like, for shit she had said in the past, and she apologized for it. That's kind of the point. She apologized for it. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is I'm trying to find it again. I had, here we go. I'm going to say this. I'm so sick and tired of people demanding me to delete tweets solely because someone is acting like an idiot and I'm not their mom. Like I gotta find it here. Anyway, she apologizes for a bunch of shit. All right. So there's that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because when we talk about like these online activists, everyone has got skeletons in their own closet. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. Am I cyber stalking this person? No. I'm trying to find it here. But Roman is right. These are fake far left wannabe activists on Twitter who don't. Yeah. You're right. Don't give them any attention. You're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct in this shit. That is the issue. When we talk about these people, this is just like the fucking Hogwarts Legacy shit. All right. It's like, just let's be mad about something, but we're on the left so we can do it. But this one is going to be attacked by the left because, the institution that is Scooby-Doo, was defamed apparently. Never mind all of like the fucking 60 years of Scooby-Doo. None of those things are gone. Well, maybe if you watch HBO Max. Right. I just watched the 2003 movie or 2002 movie the other day with my family. Fucking love that movie. I love it. I love Monsters Unleashed, not as much, but even the 2020 movie, I didn't like it at first, but I ultimately watched it again and fucking fell in love with it. So I love Scooby-Doo. I want to see Velma to see how bad it is, to be fair. But again, it's like people who are just trying to like cause shit. They're just doing it for social clout. That's all it is. That's why the controversy isn't really worth the hype. Marcus here says they are basically the far right, like on YouTube, but for Twitter. Yeah, you can tell where the mobs are, to be fair. Rational here says these are like the left-wing version of the Phantom Menace. Yeah, kinda. No, Keji, no, here's the thing. She's being bullied into apologizing for something that she's already apologized for and everything else. It's kind of like people, it's like, I get it. People do stupid shit on the internet and they want to fucking, and sometimes you got to apologize for that, right? And you should, because people grow, people change, all that stuff. But it's like you can tell the motivations for a lot of this shit. That's what I'm talking about. And people out there will agree, they'll not agree, and that's perfectly fucking fine. I don't really give much of a shit anymore. You know, like I'm at the point now where I'm just going to do what I'm going to fucking do. Like that's it. That's all I can really care about. Because otherwise it's just, you know, I'm not going to make a lot of people out there don't like me because I'm hot-headed. I have a temper, you know, and it's not to say that I'm abusive or I'm a dick. I can just be a dick. So there's that. But I think really what we're, you know, one of the bigger facets here is that, not, you know, fucking, I don't know what I want to say. I'm sorry. It's just stupid shit. Anyway. All right. So on that note, I think, we're good. We're an hour and 30 minutes in exactly. I'm just trying to like get the After Dark stream up. So we'll take a couple quick questions from you guys real quick as I finish setting this thing up, and then, we can head over there to check that. We're just gonna give it a check out, chit chat for a little while. It's not streamed. The After Dark is not streamed at all, so there's nothing there to worry about. It's just gonna hang out on StreamYard. So it does take you off YouTube if you are watching this mobile. You can still watch it mobile. It's just gonna be off YouTube on StreamYard directly, and it is it's not saved, so it's just like a hangout. It's just a one-time thing. Member stuff will be done through that just because we can talk, we can share stuff without there being the worry. We can watch trailers without the worry of the stream getting shut down. And all right, there we go. So, and I can have up to 250 people watching. That's the beautiful part about that, is that I do not have to worry about that at all. So there we go. Oops, no, not that one. Which one was it? Okay, there we go. Let me just get this up on the thing. All right, but Jarbo, I love you, LOL. I mean, like, I guess I could. Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna. I do drop the link for people to come on in. You know, whatever. No, Mo, we're not watching porn. We're not watching porn. No, Taylor, you don't have to. I know you. I'll send you an invite. Even if you can't be hot garbage knows, I'm not hot garbage. I just have an opinion. I'm going to get played by StreamYard ads again. Hey man, listen, I get the same thing. Okay. I use StreamYard. I get the same thing. All right. I get the same thing all the time. It happens. So there's that. Did I miss a super chat? Did I miss a super chat? Was it an actual super chat or was it like a member chat? I don't see it, man. I don't see a super chat. Is it a member chat? You guys got to tell me. If it's a member chat. Oh, fucking, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. You did. It's just down here. Okay. This is here. It says Clownfish's only claim to fame was that someone inside Kevin Smith's He-Man, hacked the show or leaked the show before it came out. After that, it's all been BS news. I mean, well, they were talking about it like this is back in 2019 at like HeroCon or whatever it was. Or yeah, I think it was 2019 when they first announced the show. It might've been 2020 when they announced the show. And then immediately they're like, oh, it's a fucking Tila show sort of thing. And like, that was an issue at the time. So it's all stupid, man. I'm not like a fan of that shit at all. I really wish that it wasn't like as crazy as it is, but it is. All right. So yeah, okay. Fuck. For all channel members, HWAD After Dark link. There we go. That is up. You guys, check the channel members to check the community page, and you guys get the link for that one there. Like I said, if you guys want to, again, this is just like a hangout thing. We're going to be chilling for a little while, talking about some stuff, that is there. Become a channel member if you guys want to join on in. And I appreciate everybody. I'll be back on, maybe not tomorrow night. I'm going to try to go see a fucking movie if I can. I'm going to try to go see a movie. I'm going to try to go see Megan. So I want to see Megan really bad. Maybe I'll go watch, fucking, House Party, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch Velma 28,000 times. Fucking, I don't know, man. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for hanging out tonight. Hollywood After Dark. I wouldn't be here without you. I love you guys. Hollywood After Dark starts right now, actually.